Welcome to Extraterrestrial Reality. Today we have Chris Lathrop joining us again. He's a Las Vegas alien case investigator, and he's dug up a lot of information with regard to this case and compiled a lot of information over the past year with regards to this case. And he's now come up with the original 911 call, the entire 911 call that was made by Angel Kenmore as well as his father. In the original version that a lot of us have already heard, we only got about a minute's worth of that phone call, but now we got the full 8 minutes plus. Chris, so how do we get this? What happened? Why did we finally get this? How did it happen?
I mean, I just made it. I made enough calls to LVMPD, and finally I got a really cool detective or cop, can't remember, but he's like, well, the first guy's like, got to file a request, and the second guy finally was like, all right, here, I'll just email you. It's the link right to the Axon body cam. I guess they use the body cam, the Axon company for everything, and he sent it to me. He said, here it is. This is the full. I was like, was this the full 911 call? And he said, I don't know, but this is 8.5 minutes or whatever. So here you go.
Well, I guess without any further delay, I guess we should present this full 911 call to the audience.
2023 027 and 01 seconds.
911 emergency, Herberger 19452. Do you need police, fire, or medical?
Okay. I don't know if this is an emergency case. Me, my dad, and my brother, we're working on a truck.
Police, fire, or medical?
Well, I think I need police because
what is the address that you need police?
Okay, lady, I'm so sorry. I know I'm wasting your time, but
it's not a waste of time. I just need to know where we're going before anything else.
Okay, police. This police matter. This is police matter.
To what address? Okay, what's going on over there?
Okay, lady. Me, my dad, and my brother, we're working on a truck in our backyard, and we have a big lot outside, right? Correct?
Okay.
We were working, and we just see in a corner of our eye something fall down from the sky, and it was with light, and when it hit down, it was like a big impact, and we felt it. We felt like an energy. And then we hear like a lot of footsteps near us, and then we have a big equipment, and we see, and there's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
Okay, where is this on your property?
In my backyard. I swear to God, this is not a joke. This is actually we're terrified of it.
So there's two people or two subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot, 9 feet, 10 foot. I don't know. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes. They have big eyes, like I can't explain it. And big mouth. They're shiny eyes, and they're not human. They're 100% they're not human.
Okay.
I don't know what to do.
Okay, I'm getting a call started for you, okay? So,
okay.
How long ago did this happen?
I'm looking at it right now, like when I saw something fall down.
How long ago was that?
10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. And we were just checking, and you could feel like a weird energy, and you could feel something, but 100% there's like 1 or 2 on a big forklift we have, and they're very large, ladies. They're like 9 foot, 10 foot tall.
Okay.
And this is not a joke. I know I don't want to waste you guys' time. I know it's probably more emergency, but this is scary.
Okay, do they appear under the influence of drugs or alcohol, or you don't know?
No, lady. No.
Okay.
I don't drink. I'm 18. I don't drink.
I understand. I'm talking about the people that are in your backyard.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, hello. Yes.
Okay, I'm talking about the things that are in your backyard. Do they appear under the influence of drugs or alcohol, or you don't know?
Lady, I don't know, lady. They don't look.
Do they have any weapons?
No, lady. I don't think they have weapons, but they're very tall humans. Lady,
okay, I already have a call set up. Okay, my questions aren't delaying any kind of help.
Okay.
So, what do they look like?
Okay, they're like a neon color light. Like their eyes look like neon. Like you can see very bright from very far away.
Okay.
They're about 10, 11 foot tall. and they're like there's two of them, and they're like a greenish tan color.
Okay.
First, okay, we're working on a truck. We see something fall from the sky in the backyard.
Okay, so hang on. So it's green or tan colored eyes. Can you tell me anything else about them in case they take off?
They're tall. They're very large, and they're very like big, muscular. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Maybe they're aliens. 100%. I know I'm not stupid.
Okay, are they wearing clothes? Can you tell me anything else?
No, they're naked. No, there's no clothes. You can just see them shining.
Okay.
They're naked,
And your brother and your dad are still there?
They're right here next to me.
Okay, can I speak to one of them?
Yes. Hello.
Hi, this is Metro Police on a recorded line. Do you still see them outside?
Well, yeah, I don't want to go all the way there because I have the heavy equipment on my bike.
Okay. And are you the father or the brother?
Yeah, I'm a father.
Okay.
So
How long
I went
ago
back
did
there.
you see them?
That's 20 minutes.
Okay.
18, 20 minutes around there. So we bought.
And they're green,
working on the
correct?
truck. Yeah, they're like green, but very tall. It's about 11 foot tall. Well, I have a couple of trailers in the back. They're very tall. They were like 10 taller than trailers.
Okay.
I have heavy equipment, so
All right.
very large.
Are you able to lock all the doors inside?
Yes.
Okay. Are all the doors locked right now?
Well, we outside. The back doors, yeah, but
Okay.
we outside.
Are you able to go inside and lock the doors? I don't want you to put yourself in danger in case they have any
Okay.
weapons.
Oh, okay then. All right, let's go inside. Come on, Ivy. We saw like a big light. It was like big,
I understand.
a lot of color lights, and then
Okay.
a lot of color lights disappeared. Yeah.
Are you able to give me any other description other than that they're
Yes,
very
yes.
tall, muscular, green and tan colored skin? Can you tell me anything else about them?
No. I could see them walk. They walk like I have a heavy equipment there, like high right there. I don't know. So
Okay.
we can see it's no closer than no. They look like all like
Could you tell-
both heads.
Could you tell
No,
if they
but-
had any weapons or no?
No, I don't see nothing. No, I don't.
Okay. All right. Is
I see it so
anybody...
bad. That was so bad. Actually, when I walked back there, I was walking back to my house, to my yard, like to my house, and I could see the energy. I couldn't walk no more. So that was kind of weird. I don't know.
What is your first and last name?
Bobby Kenmore,
Spell it for me.
Kenmori. Oh, Kenmore. R-O. Ahora, kids, get over here.
Okay. Can you spell it one more time?
Yeah, that's even go. Kenmore.
Okay. And Bobby,
Oh,
B-O-B-B-Y?
Yeah, you got it.
How many people are there with you?
My 2 kids and my wife. And me, 4 people.
Okay. All right. Is anybody in the house under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
No.
Okay. Any weapons for anybody inside the house?
Just me.
What was that?
Just me. I have my weapon.
What kind of weapon do you have?
9mm Glock.
Where is it at?
Open carry.
Okay. So it's on your waist right now?
Yes.
Okay. All right. You can have it for safety right now, okay? But when the officers come and approach your house, they're going to knock on your door, and I need that gun to be secured. I need that to be somewhere other than on your person, okay?
Perfect.
And I need you to come outside with your hands up so they can see there's nothing in your hands, okay?
Perfect.
But for right now, you can hang on to it while it's safe to do so, okay? But nobody's under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
No.
Okay.
Not gonna.
And then does anybody in the house have any kind of mental illness or no?
Nope.
Okay.
No.
And what's a good phone number I can call you back on?
Correct.
Okay. All right. I'll go ahead and update all this information, okay? If anything changes or escalates or they start to get violent, go and give us a call back, okay?
Yeah, perfect.
Thank
So we
you,
get
sir.
inside the house then. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, there you go. That was fantastic. Is there a lot? There's not is it more yeah, what's the word here I'm looking for? Is it something new and earth-shattering in there? No, not really, but it does add to it, no, unquestionably. And I found it fascinating, especially what I thought was interesting with the father, what he stated there, that he could feel an energy when he went in there, and he couldn't walk no more because of it. Like he couldn't walk anymore.
Yeah, that's the
So
first
what
time
was that?
That's the first time we've heard someone Angel's story corroborated about the energy and the paralyzed. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And it was his father stating that that night to the 911 call, the 911 dispatcher, which is fascinating, unbelievable, actually. Well, there was other things too. I thought the funniest part about it, I thought, was the fact that she was asking if these creatures in the backyard were under the influence of drugs or alcohol.
I'm still laughing about that. I know. He's like, "No, lady, what are you talking about? You crazy?" I know.
Yeah.
But you know what? One thing I don't think we talk about this enough is that English isn't their first language, and it's choppy, it's hard, because I've gone through all their interviews, and I listen to my ear and I rewind it. So that's the only way to truly get all these words down, to the best of my ability anyway. So, and nobody talks about that. It's like there's all like, oh, there's 4 inconsistencies, this and that. Was he working with his dad before they saw this or that? And it's like there's gonna be a few of those, I mean,
Yeah.
That's why if we can ever get a translator and get an interview with Angel, it'd be phenomenal,
Yeah. Well, we did get that. I did get a translation. There was a gentleman from Italy, but that was an incomplete one. And then I get some people telling me, it's just hard. It's just
it's such a rare dialect. Yeah.
Yeah. And I also thought it was, I think it was very interesting. The full. I mean, I don't know how anybody could listen to this and think that these people were making it up. When you listen to the full app, the full call. I mean, you hear that, you see how when you watch the police video, when the cops showed up and the way they interviewed them, this family was telling the truth from the very beginning. And but yet we have a lot of people out there that seem to have trouble connecting all the dots in this case. I mean, there's just so many different elements to it, and this here, it's better now that we have this complete picture of the 911 call. I think it's important to have it.
We didn't have much out of Bobby, and and this helps a lot. And I even remember Papa reporting how he's a stand-up guy, really good guy, doesn't think he lie, so it adds to it a lot,
Yeah. I mean, the family is a highly religious family. I mean, and they're, so they actually have come to the conclusion from all the reporting that I've heard is that they think it's demons, demonic. They don't think it has anything to do with creatures, NHI. They think it has to do with demons, from what I've been hearing, and they ended up moving out of that house.
Yeah.
Because of it, they claim that they experienced poltergeist activity, and that is something that does occur in some of these cases sometimes, where there's so many different stories where people have UFO and/or encounters with aliens, and then you hear that they have poltergeist activity on top of it, and that's what happened in this case.
Absolutely, and the smell of sulfur is a big connection too between the two. Yeah.
And there's no, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and try to understand. I don't know the answers to that. But see, here's the thing. I believe that those things did happen to those people. I don't think they would. These are the kind of people that would tell some story like this. I mean, and then they actually ended up moving out of the house because of this. So
there's enough evidence to charge them with a hoax if LVMPD really thought it was a hoax. But we clearly know they did. I mean, you listen to that 911 call. There's no way on earth you can think that that's a hoax.
No,
the father's got his gun, tells 911 dispatcher, come on, man, he's going to get his gun out with his kids and over. It's just insane when you think about it, Yeah. If it was 2 kids, that's one thing. Father, come on.
No. Yeah, there's absolutely no way. I mean, I mean, we knew this. I mean, we've been studying this for a long time now. I don't even know. I mean, I started studying, following this since right when it became big news back in June of 2023, right? And ever since, and it wasn't earlier this year, or excuse me, early last year was when things start really heating up, and and we were able to prove scientifically something. But by the way, I just want to point out, and I know that you're aware of this, and we were talking about it before the show. A lot of the I got some flack from some bigger names on Twitter yesterday, X rather, with regard to this case. There's just some people out there. I'm not gonna get into that all today. But all I'll say is that there were some people, including John Greenwald of the Black Vault, who they're flabbergasted. They can't believe this case, and they think it's all nonsense. And they haven't even, obviously, if they knew it, the problem that this creates for them by acting like this, right, is it was obvious that they have no idea. They haven't researched this. They don't know. They're looking at a little bit of the evidence that I published on Twitter yesterday, and they jump into conclusions. They wouldn't be talking like this, Chris, if they knew the full story, or maybe they would. But I don't see. If they would, then that means that they're being disingenuous and
yes,
untruthful.
Exactly. That just proves that there's something else going on. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm convinced too at this point that there has been a somewhat there's a cover up with this case for the most part. It seems. I mean, there's been an effort to suppress this, and it's not something that the mainstream news. A lot of people were aware of this case. I think what's happening here, right, and I think this is what might have happened with someone like Greenwald complaining about this yesterday, is that. It's just so on its face when you first hear a story like this. These kind of stories, you hear them throughout the years, right? Oh, aliens land in backyard. To some people, right, that turns them off right there. Oh, I can't believe that. It's just too much. And I think that's what's going on in this case. A lot of the people, they'll see an image here or a part of it here. They don't understand the full context of the entire story,
right?
And everything that's involved. And what happens is that. They just react like this, and they're outraged. They protest. What does Shakespeare say? Thou doth protest too much, or something to that effect. Yeah. That's what's happening when they start acting like this. Because that's what I saw last night with John Greenwald. He was protesting too much all of a sudden. Like, how could you comment on something like this, like in this way, without knowing all the facts? Like, I would never do something like that.
Right. Or maybe a loose opinion, but you can't be stating what you think is fact without even researching anything. It's insane. Yeah. And then there's that crowd that can't even get over the fact that, how's a spacecraft come from another solar system and crash here or this or that? It's like, we don't know that stuff, but they can't even get past that part, right? I don't think it crashed. It was but whatever.
I think it was a hard landing. We don't know why it was.
No, but we do know.
Go ahead.
We just don't know about this tech. We don't know this tech. Who knows? That could have been a normal thing, and something happened. There could have been a slight emergency. Who knows? We don't know.
We just don't know. I mean, and all of that is guesswork. But the problem is that we have multiple witnesses witnessing an object coming down from the sky. The object was filmed. We have it on video. It made a sound. It made a mechanical oscillating sound as it came down from the sky. It knocked out security cameras when it dropped in the Kenmore's backyard.
Also,
cameras, the neighbors.
Also, the neighbor reported too. They lost everything: internet, TV, phones too. The neighbor said that. Not many people talk about that.
We also know from information from the American Meteor Society that there was of the multiple witnesses in 4 states that saw the object coming down. One woman in Arizona looking north said that as soon as the object dropped, 2 UFOs were hovering in the area where that object went down, and she thought it was very strange, and she reported that on May 1st of 2023. So you have that, and then there's just so many elements. I mean, no matter which way you go in this case, right? There's nothing in there that hurts it. The more you look into it, the more you realize, wow, this really did happen. Look at all these different things that fall into place. The fact that the meteor, quote meteor, didn't have a heat signature. Somebody captured it on. So things like this.
And that was a computer. I mean, that wasn't like a handheld. That was a self-driving car that caught that. You know what I mean?
Right.
On accident. So that's very powerful evidence. Agreed.
Yeah. So we have all of that, and then the fact you have the 911 call itself. Okay, those people are sincere. You have the video, the body cam footage of the cops arriving and speaking with the witnesses, and then leaving. We don't have when they go into the yard. That's not been released yet, but we have them when they're leaving too. And those cops were obviously convinced that these people were telling the truth because you could see it in the video. You could sense it. These people were obviously shocked and dismayed, and they didn't know what to think.
Sheriff McMahill went on record and said that he watched it. He said that my guys were freaked out. You know, they thought what they saw was real. You know, like it's on record. So
we have all of that, right? And then the fact that we actually have experts, video experts, Scott Roeder, who has over 30 years experience in this crime scene reconstruction business and video analysis, and he had other people on his team, including this guy, Louis Castillo, who was a guy working toward his doctorate in video animation or something to that effect. They examined that video and they walked away saying that, for one thing, it wasn't faked, and for another thing, there are various different faces and anomalies appearing in here that shouldn't be there. There was manipulation of the video somehow that was unexplainable. So when you put all of these things together, it informs you that this is a real event, but some people are having trouble getting to this point. And I think what we might be seeing here, it could be, there's a lot of different possibilities here, but with some of these people like John Greenwald, surprisingly, that caught me off guard, actually.
Yeah, me too. I thought he was a little more serious and just filed FOIAs and didn't get into this stuff too much.
I didn't think he attacked people like that and saying that you're silly. Like I basically was attacked. Like instead, it was your basic kind of debunker attack, which I'm not going to get into it here today because I'm going to have a lot more things to say about that. I need to think about that a little bit more and I'm going to give them a chance. I want to see if anything else develops. But there's even as of this morning, I'm still getting attacks on there from them talking about how this is too much to deal with, too much to handle. It's all crazy. It's silly. Blah blah blah. It's too pixelated. Mick West tried to tell me I didn't know what a pixel was. I don't even know what he's talking about.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Well, I have a video expert. He was offered $5,000 to look at that video, and he won't do it.
Right. Yeah. And I offered him too way back in the day. I mean, for free, but he still declined me, and he just blocked me. I guess a few days ago. So he's done with me.
Well, I don't know. These people, I guess what we could be seeing here, though, I know what Mick West, I know he has an agenda and everything, but I was surprised with Greenwald. I don't mind someone coming in and having an issue and say, hey, I don't believe this or whatever, right? But
that's good. We need that to get to the truth, right?
Yeah, okay, then let me explain the situation to you. I think that instead he jumps right to the conclusion and then basically calling me names, basically in a demeaning manner, like demeaning messages, like to me. I don't think I deserve that. Just because he was shocked at what he looked. One of the pictures of that was captured from that video was of the short guy. I call the undeniable backbreaker. Yeah. The one that. And he looked at that picture and all he saw was a head floating in space, and he couldn't believe that I would put something like this on the internet and try to claim it was real. Like he had no idea about the whole context.
They don't understand that there's that everything's blocked from about 3 feet down in the video. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was a close-up shot of it, but you can see it far away, and it's not just that's just one instance. There's multiple instances throughout that video, as we've talked about. I don't know how many videos I did since last April when Roeder came out with that stuff. It has to be, I don't know, 30, 40, 50, right? Yeah. And a lot of them I break down. You find new stuff in it all the time, Chris. Right. There's faces all over the place. Now, some of it, even myself, it's hard to believe, but you have to accept the reality. After a while, you got to say to yourself, this is not there's stuff that's going on in that video that is most certainly not pareidolia, right? Sometimes I'm not sure with some of the other things, but some of there's just too many instances of it. That just doesn't, it's not natural. You had people, here's the thing. You had people calling 911 saying they have aliens in their backyard. They filmed 1 minute and 41 seconds worth of that incident before they made that 911 call. Yeah. So my whole problem here is how could, if there weren't aliens in the backyard, then how come we're seeing alien faces in the video? They said that's what was in the yard, and that's what we're seeing there. We're seeing there. Right. This is not about, to me, right? I just want to point out, this is not about, a desire of just something wanting to be real. No, there's something there. If there was nothing there, if I couldn't see it, I would say so. You know, in fact,
Right.
I did say so for like the first year. The only thing that we could see that I saw was a little movement of that object that chased the original, the first creature that chased him out of the yard that Scott Roeder pointed out. I didn't see anything else. It wasn't until other people started pointing things out to me, and then we took a closer look at it. That's what these people don't understand.
And even then, it's hard. I mean, so
it's hard. Yes,
we still haven't even begun. I feel like analyzing it, honestly.
No.
I actually sent I told you earlier, I sent an email to Caterpillar, and I don't know, it's a shot in the dark. We'll see, but I asked them to analyze the video to, one, verify the model, which I'm 99% sure I know which one it is, but just to see if there's any anomalies that they could see, or, something that's not supposed to be there in front of the mirror, in front of the lights, whatever, so. But the point is, I'm going to keep on trying stuff like this, because I mean, I don't know. There already is enough circumstantial evidence to show to people, but it takes hours. It's so much. I mean, we've got it was not a meteor. We've proved that. It's geomapped to landing north Las Vegas, 100%. And I don't know, Jim, you remember when that NASA representative came out less than 24 hours after the case went viral, and they said I don't know, I'm paraphrasing, but he said with near certainty it was a meteor.
Yeah.
It's like 24 hours. You didn't even have time to even do any kind of investigate, right? Like all he did is he saw a video and with certainty it was a meteor, right? Like, There's been an
effort to cover this up. There's obviously some. I mean, here's the thing. Like, I don't know. When I start hearing people start talking about, like right off the bat, right when it was like when Ben Hansen went on was on News Nation with Scott Roeder last year. Like he didn't even know anything about this, and Scott Roeder said, there's something there. We did an analysis of this in that area where the face appears above the fence. 66% of the pixels were deleted for some reason, and but Hansen just jumped right. Oh no, that's just shadows and that's all it is. Like they don't even. I'm telling you, I just think there's some people either they have some sort of an agenda or they're suffering with ontological shock because it's just too wild for them to accept. I think that's what it could be. I don't know.
But there's also people with an agenda, because it's like you'll see their accounts and that's all they do. They don't, like they don't post about other stuff, about life. It's just all debunking UFOs. And it's like, man, something's going on here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that the unfortunate thing is that I think there are some people with pretend people who are interested in this that are doing this too. I mean, you get so much stuff from trolls on top of it. Then, I mean, it's just amazing to me. But I know that in the end, in the final analysis, as the years go by, right, that we're going to turn out. Everyone's going to know that what we're talking about, it really did happen. There's just no denying it. When you look at all of this evidence, you put it all together. We have them captured on video. We have all of the 911 call. We have the object coming down from the sky, which was not a meteor, could not have been. Nope. It just all of it points in one direction. We were not alone. There was something here, and for some reason, some of those somethings landed in a backyard in Las Vegas in 2023. And there's a lot of people. There's some people out there. I'll tell you what. A lot of people see this. That's the other thing. When people first learn about this, they become interested and they look into a little bit more, and they'll see it, right? Yeah. Or there's some people who don't see it at first, but they think the story is really interesting. I had people like that. There was a guy last year who said he wasn't seeing it, and then I did another presentation where I outlined something for him, and he came back and he's like, "I see it now," and he thought it was totally unsettling.
Yes. Yeah.
It just takes time.
That happened with my wife. She thought I was crazy for a year. And then it's like, I finally showed her the geomapping I did and pinned it down to North Las Vegas in a pretty tight area. And it's like, she finally gets it. She's, so, I mean, yeah, it does. It takes time for people. And some people just won't accept it from the, ever. Right.
Right.
They're the people they can't accept a spacecraft coming from another solar system and crashing or whatever. But
see, here's the other thing. Some people have a problem admitting when they're wrong. I think too, and I think that you're going to get some of that because of it's just the way our egos are. I don't think you should. I don't think people should be concerned about that. If you make a mistake, you made a mistake. John Greenwald doesn't realize it, right? But he's wrong. I mean, he's wrong. Mick West is most certainly wrong, right? All these people are wrong. There's no question about it, right?
Yeah.
And at some point, that's going to, the whole world will know this, whether it's 100 years from now or next week, right? One way or the other. In the final end, in the final analysis, people are gonna know. The history books are gonna report that those guys are wrong. I know
100%.
that we were right, 100%.
Yeah,
no question.
And this will be the case that they look back on. I mean,
Yep. Yes.
There's
no doubt.
I think one day we'll get another interview from Angel. He's still young. Who knows? He might talk down the road.
Yeah, I think this story is not going to go away anytime soon. I mean, I don't even blame them. In fact, I'm at a position now. I don't care. Yeah, if I was them, leave me alone. I'm sick of hearing about this. I don't want to talk about it anymore. They gave us the video. They gave us the hey, this is we saw aliens. They pointed it out to Angel actually pointed out one of them to us. And we did the rest. We found there's anomalies in there. It's been proven that there are anomalies in there. Nobody's been able to debunk it. And it's the stories. There's no question that it's the biggest story of all time, as far as I'm concerned. To this point, I mean, Roswell could have been it, right? But it got covered up.
But
this
there's
is the
no
biggest
video. Yeah,
there's no video. There's nothing.
One call or right. I mean, this case has it all. I mean, as much as I'm fascinated by all those other cases, we've never had a 911 call and a video and a father involved and a proof of an object falling down in the very close proximity to the house. Like, come on, we've never had a case like that. No.
Well, I just got to say, I thought that this 911 call was definitely worth, it was definitely worth obtaining, because it does provide us definitely more information here. Most certainly. I mean, he was talking about their neon colored eyes. Angel was. I mean, I don't remember him saying that in too many, not in any of the television interviews. Anyway, he might have said something like that Doug popped
somewhere. I remember hearing neon. Yeah, he said
the neon stands, but he actually said it that night to the dispatcher. He actually pointed out that he thought he's 8, 9. That's the first time I think I heard 11 feet. He actually went up to as high as 11 feet.
That's what his dad said. Yeah, that's what Bobby said.
Yeah. And he talked about and the other thing too was I just think that the part with the father talking about the feet, he felt this energy and it couldn't move, and I think that's fascinating.
That's kind of me too. Me, I really do too. I mean, that eliminates that right there. Eliminates the kids trying to hoax their dad and then doing a giant hoax, right? Like, there's no way.
Yeah,
he wouldn't have felt an energy. So, yeah, it's.
A hoax never. I mean, that was the whole thing. A hoax to me in this case, it just never made any. And like, even early on, I know there were people trying to push, saying it was a hoax, and and I it could have been. I didn't know early on. Okay, maybe it is, but when you look at everything, right? So no, there's no hoax here. I mean, they made a big deal about like that Angel had pointed out that there was a circle in the yard where the thing landed, right? And then they showed a picture of it, but they said, or they showed I don't know, it was a helicopter, or I guess it was from a drone. Vantage,
drone,
right? And they showed the circle, but then they said that the Google Earth showed that circle was in the dirt even before this incident happened. Well, when we find out what happened was when one of the police officers came into the yard to investigate, he pointed the circle out to Angel and said, "Hey, Angel's pointed out, said this is where it landed in this area here," and the cop said, "Oh, there's a circle there. That must be from where it landed." And so Angel just assumed that circle he just probably never noticed it before. If you look at the sky view of that backyard, there was markings all over the place probably from moving that equipment around.
Right.
So that shows these things didn't mean make it a hoax, but some people said that.
And also, I think, I don't know, I'm still investigating that, really, because I think there's something to it. I'm just having problems getting like I need like a European satellite image. I don't know, because the Google image history, I don't know. There's images there's an image on there 9 days before, and there's no circle there. So
really?
Yeah, we can talk about that some other time, because I'm still kind of digging around, but because there was a lot of questions about that. Did they go into Google Earth? I mean, that would have thrown a ton of people off the case quick, which it did actually.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Or there was another thing where somebody had pointed out a video to Angel that, there was a security camera that captured the sound of an object and a flash of an object coming down, and so he thought, oh, this must be the object that came down. So he used that, and then it was found out that was taken a different night. So these kind of things weren't his fault. I mean,
exactly.
So and then when you get down to the entire hoax idea, okay, how do you hoax it? I mean, to me, right, if it would have been hoaxed, that means everybody would have been involved. That means the police would have been involved. That means all of those people who reported to the object falling from the sky to the American Meteor Society would probably have to be involved, including the woman from Arizona who said she saw 2 UFOs, and she reported that weeks before this even became a story, right? All these different things would have had to fall into place. The police would have had to have been involved. A lot of people involved.
The videos would have to be fake that geo-map it going down in North Las Vegas, right? I mean,
all of them, yeah.
All that would have to be fake.
Yeah.
So
I mean, so you're not going to say how are you going to say it's a hoax? Oh, so okay, so you're going to try to tell me that the Kenmores decided, okay, next time a fireball lands in our yard, we're going to call the police up with a 911 call and say there are aliens there.
Right.
See, it just falls to pieces.
They've been planning this for 8 years, waiting for a meteor. It's insane. I know. That's why just based on that, I knew this wasn't a hoax at the beginning. I mean, the 57-second phone call seems so real, the 911 call, but then on top of that, it's like, who the hell sits around and waits for a meteor and then hatches a hoax?
Right.
So, there's just no way, right?
Yeah, I think it is what you're getting. You're getting there's most certainly elements out there that don't want to believe in this subject. I believe that there are people that just don't like this idea and they just don't want to believe it, and they'll just call everything a hoax right out. Just they can't help themselves, right? And then I think there's other people with agendas. I don't know how do you differentiate them. I don't know who to trust, actually. Sometimes I really don't know. I mean,
Agreed,
I don't know who to trust anymore, like in the UFO community, really.
Yeah, me too. Sometimes I think I'm paranoid, but it's like there's something's going on, you know?
All I'm interested in, I don't know. The only thing I'm interested in is getting people in this world to understand the reality of the situation we're living in. That's all I'm interested in, right? And this story here should bring us to that point. Should help us get there.
Right. We don't have to have all the answers. I mean, it's
right,
but we still got to get to the truth somehow, or try to. I know.
Yeah, and the other thing is too when I guess the thing that bothers me about the people commenting on this stuff is that you think you would do a little bit more research before you start doing making statements like that. I mean, that would be. I remember when the Trinity case, you heard of the Trinity 1945 case, Jacques Vallée did a book on it, and I talked about it on my show. And then somebody contacted me, somebody from MUFON, actually, a MUFON investigator contacted me after I talked about it. He said, that story has issues. I mean, you should do some looking into this story. This researcher, Douglas Dean Johnson, he pretty much disproved it. So I took the time and I went through all of the stuff that Douglas Dean Johnson uncovered with that case, and I found out that they had more holes in it than a block of Swiss cheese. And so obviously the Trinity case, I think it was a hoax. I mean, and I think that Douglas Dean Johnson's research showed it was a hoax. So I came back on and I presented all that stuff and said, yeah, obviously this is a hoax. I mean, here's all the information's right there. Like, I could look at that information, even though I thought the story sounded really fun when I first heard it, but now, unfortunately it's a hoax. What are you going to do? You have to tell the truth. And I don't know if you're going to get that with this.
You're not, because it's not a hoax. Hoaxes are going to have holes,
right?
And you're going to be able to figure it out, right?
I mean, so you would think that these people would if you're like Mick West, for instance, right? And you're looking at this case and you think that you could just call someone names or just say, oh, there's nothing to this. It's a waste of time, and without even looking into it or providing any sort of scientific analysis or any sort of scientific refutation to it, you think they would do something different, like just tell the truth. Well, how come they can't do that? Like, how come none of those people could ever be upfront with anybody else? How come when they're wrong, they don't want to admit it? Like, I don't expect, I hope I'm wrong, right? But I don't expect John Greenwald to sit down and actually absorb the totality of all the evidence and then come back and say, you know what, I'm sorry, I was wrong. He's not going to do that. After all stuff that he just stated, some of these people, they're egomaniacs, and I think you might get that here. And I hope I'm wrong. I appreciate the stuff that John Greenwald has done over the years for 30 years now. All of the FOIA, he's the FOIA king.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
But to act like this, this is, and I just hope I'm wrong. But I hope he, when he does absorb the totality of the information, he offers a different analysis here, a different opinion, because what he's doing last night, that's uninformed, uneducated,
It's
reactionary. He was talking about telling me I'm an embarrassment, basically.
It's like, what?
How am I embarrassment?
How many hours have you spent on this case?
Yeah.
Compared to him, you know?
Compared to him, he doesn't even know anything about it.
Right.
He looks at one picture and then jumps to conclusions. It's
Crazy.
unbelievable. It
is.
And what does that tell you? You have to wonder, does he have an agenda? Like, what's the reasoning behind that? In my next podcast, I'm going to explore that more. I'm going to go through. I'm going to let that thing fizzle out a little bit more, and then
That'd be
probably
good.
tomorrow I'll get into it a little bit more. But I hope I'm wrong. I just hope these people, when they realize that they're wrong, they're going to come step forward and admit it. I guess that's where I'm getting at.
Me too. Me too. They swallow their pride, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing that.
No,
When you're wrong,
that's how
you're
we get
wrong. You admit it and you move on.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's science. How many scientists have to admit they're wrong along the way, right? But like, yeah, I don't know. These guys aren't scientists, so whatever.
Well, Chris, I want to say thank you very much for coming on the show today and sharing that 911 call. That was very interesting and eye-opening. I appreciate it very much.
Yeah, you're absolutely welcome. I'm still working on stuff. We'll see what else we can get, you know. But
Well, I'm sure. Well, you'll be back on pretty soon again when we are talking about. So we have some more things coming up, like the geo mapping and all that. So we'll be talking about that next time.
Cool.
All right. I want to. Yeah. Thank you very much, Chris. I want to say thank you very much for joining us today. Until next time.